Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the top selling products for the month of July. July. I'm gonna get a job as a singer.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Before I jump straight into the products, a quick update on the Worldwide Cyclery operations. I've been giving updates on what's going on with our business, each one of these monthly top products videos, and we have an article on our website sort of detailing what's going on. We are finally sort of back to normal in terms of being caught up and getting, pretty much close to back to normal with phone call and email reply times. That was something that we really struggled with throughout the pandemic. A lot of that was because shipping carriers were slowing things down, so a lot of people were asking where their stuff was.
Where's my stuff?
We made a handful of mistakes because we were overwhelmed and we had to adapt to all these different things like people going home and all this different sanitization of the work environment, and it was a major struggle. I answered it more in an Ask Jeff video that was on YouTube a month or so ago. And yeah, I mean, the pandemic has thrown a huge amount of challenges at every single business. So my only request is a little patience for us still, although we are pretty much back to normal, and then a little patience for all small businesses because everyone is, sort of dealing with a lot right now. So yeah, that's that. If you want more information, that blog with our operations frequently updated is in the video description below. Now, to talk about some top selling products for July, here's a quick tidbit of what's happened in the bike industry throughout the pandemic. Cycling of all kinds got way more popular. People who were frequent riders already started riding even more frequently. People were getting into the sport who have never done it before. It's obviously a great socially distant activity to do with your friends and family. And yeah, it got really popular. It was kind of what's been called the bike boom of 2020. So it's been very hard for everyone in the industry to keep up. And it was so massive that now inventory is a huge issue. Inventory depletion. There is like no bikes, no anything.
Give me all you got! Listen, give me all you got!
Tubes have sold out here and there. I mean, our catalog is about 55% empty, and it's never normally like that. So that's our whole catalog online. So crazy inventory issues right now.
And it's gone.
So I tried to put in the top selling stuff for July that I hope is still gonna be in stock when this video goes live. So without further ado, Stan's Dart Tools, we currently still have those at the time of filming. If you don't know what that is, this is a bag from my gravel bike. Stan's Dart Tool is a little tool that we made an entire video on. Definitely check it out. It's a $25 tool that 25 bucks includes 2 darts, and you can buy a refill pack for 20 bucks that has 5 darts. What this is kind of basically a competitor to bacon strips, right? That traditional thing that when you get a hole in your tire, you stab it and you plug it if the hole is too big for your sealant to seal. So we tested these out extensively in that video that we made, and they work super well. They've been basically flying off the shelves ever since they came out because it's a really good tool to have in your pack, and this is what I'm always gonna take with me on rides now. I did learn one lesson the hard way. You can kind of get a puncture in your tire that's not big enough to warrant using one of these, and your sealant should seal it up. And I was kind of in a rush, and I tried to smash one of these into a hole in the tire that the sealant definitely would have just sealed up, and actually did end up sealing up, and I broke the dart. So Stan says these things are made for holes that sealant won't seal. So if it's a pretty small hole and you think the sealant will seal it, just give it a few minutes, let the sealant do its job, and don't waste a dart. But the dart actually has a chemical reaction with the latex in the sealant, and that's what helps it seal the tire. Really cool, interesting design. And the $25 gets you the tool with the 2 darts in there, and then obviously from there you only need the refill packs. But yeah, they work amazing. We tested the heck out of it for like really big slashes. That's where it works well. If you're wondering what else is in my pack, CO2, multi-tool tire lever, and emergency tire boots, Park Tool TB2, because if you get a really big slash, you kind of need one of these, and then you can put a tube in here. This is a Tubolito. It is the smallest, lightest tube you can buy, and it's also really outrageously expensive, but you kind of never use your tube in your pack very often because things like dart tools and good sealant. Speaking of which, Stan's, another top selling product for July. Stan's No Tubes Tire Sealant, 16 ounces, for $20.95. I think Stan's has the longest running sealant, and it's also just the cheapest. There's some fancier stuff out there that may or may not work better. It's kind of impossible to tell, to be honest, but Stan's is kind of a staple in sealant that a lot of people live by. We definitely enjoy. It is non-hazardous, corrosive, toxic, and made with natural latex and in the USA. So good sealant. Don't drink it, but put it in your tubeless tires. Hold on. Got something in my throat, like a breathed in my own saliva type of thing. Next up, we have the SunRace MZ90 12-speed cassette. This is an 1150 that uses a Shimano HG cassette free hub body. Why this cassette matters? So this cassette was extremely popular when SRAM Eagle was originally released, because when they originally released SRAM Eagle, they just had GX, X01, and XX1, and all three of them used the proprietary SRAM XD free hub body. So you kind of needed that free hub body on your bike in order to have SRAM Eagle, which was this killer wide range 12-speed drivetrain. And then SunRace came out with this, which had the same large 50 tooth. It has a little bit larger. Instead of a 10, it had an 11 for the small cog, but it used a Shimano free hub body, which was a big deal because semi-older bikes, or just different hubs, like or convenience factor, a lot of people didn't have an opportunity or a way to upgrade to an XD free hub body, so they could get all the GX parts from SRAM's Eagle drivetrain and then use this cassette and not have to change their free hub body because it worked with their Shimano HG free hub body. So this was a really cool product. Then SRAM came out with the Eagle NX, which basically made exactly the same thing, an 1150 cassette, 12-speed that uses the Shimano HG free hub body. So when this came out, I thought, oh, the SunRace is kind of toast, is history. But it actually still sells extremely well, mainly because although it is $10 more expensive, it looks a lot nicer. It's got a huge aluminum red anodized spider, which looks gorgeous, which totally outdoes the looks of the NX one. And this is 542 grams by our scale, and this one is 624 grams. So an extra $10 gets you a fancier looking red anodized cassette and shaves a significant amount of weight. So yeah, solid cassette. These next two products, I wish were top selling products in July. They are not, but I put them in here because it's a shameless plug, because they are KETL Mtn products, and we actually own KETL Mtn now, and these are the two first products that we ourselves, especially myself, did design, a pair of gloves and socks. The gloves are fresh in, and I love these things. I really wanted to basically make a glove that had a nice, stretchy, breathable top fabric, but still a durable palm material, so they weren't disposable like a lot of gloves are. So this thing you can actually crash in, and they're not gonna tear apart, yet they are nice and comfy and breathable on the top, and then they have wrapped around fingertips for comfort, and they are touch sensitive. So awesome gloves in case you're looking for some. And socks, these are a merino blend sock made in New Zealand with thoughtfully placed cushioning. Basically, it's a sock that I think is great for kind of, we call them the fair weather socks, so great for any weather. Nice, thin, stretchy. It's got some cushioning on the ball of your foot and on your heel. So if you're hiking in these things, basically those hot spots, it really covers those up, but the rest of the sock is nice and thin and breathable and stretchy, so they don't end up being a warm sock. So perfect combination in my opinion. I really like them. There you go. And now we have something that has been a top-selling drivetrain product for a super long time now, the SRAM Eagle AXS upgrade kits. What this is this is a $1,000 little setup that turns your existing Eagle drivetrain into an AXS wireless electronic drivetrain. The X01, which is what I have here, and the XX1, both of the upgrade kits are $1,000. They include your shifter, which is now called a controller apparently because it's electronic, your derailleur, your battery for the derailleur, and your little charging port and cable. They are the same price. What is the difference? Well, the XX1 has a carbon inner derailleur cage, and the entire derailleur is 15 grams lighter. SRAM decided to make them both the exact same price at $1,000. But if you have an existing SRAM Eagle drivetrain and you want to make that baby wireless and get rid of that rear derailleur cable on your bike for eternity, here's your choice right here. Oh, and I forgot to say, the Eagle AXS stuff is compatible with SRAM's 10 to 50 or 10 to 52 cassettes. The AXS stuff, you don't need a different derailleur. Do keep in mind for the mechanical Eagle, cable actuated, basically you have a 10 to 50 and a 10 to 52 tooth derailleur, so you got to keep that compatibility in mind. But with AXS, you don't. All Eagle AXS electronic derailleurs work with the 50 or the 52 tooth cassette. Next up, we have the Cork ShockWiz. This is a $329 electronic suspension tuning and analytics device. This thing's rad. We made a really in-depth video and article all about this product and the setup and what it does quite some time ago. It's been around for a couple of years now. And basically what it does is you hook it up to your air fork or air shock and you go for a ride, and it records everything. There is some setup involved. You have to kind of tell it and tell the app, you know, what bike you're riding, how much travel, what brand suspension, blah, blah, blah. But then you go for a ride and you log a few hours on it, and then the app will give you back all of these analytics. It'll tell you how many times you bottomed out. And to me, it's like, it helps you obviously tune your suspension. That's the idea, right? It gives you analytics, it gives you suggestions, actionable suggestions, like you need to increase your air pressure and here's why, or you need to decrease it, or you need to increase or decrease your rebound. All of that is amazing and super valuable, especially when you're getting on a new bike for the first time. This is a really fun tool to play with and to utilize to get your bike set up, but it also just teaches you about suspension. So suspension is a confusing thing these days, and mountain bike suspension, the high-end stuff, is full of adjustments like beginning and ending stroke rebound and high and low speed compression, and your air pressure. And all that stuff can get pretty confusing and overwhelming, and using a tool like this and using the app can really help you dial in your suspension, but also help educate you on what those terms are, what they do, how they actually change your ride on the bike, make it better, make it worse, and just help you get a more dialed in suspension setup for your bike. So really cool $329 electronic Bluetooth fancy gadget. Last but not least, a SRAM DUB English threaded bottom bracket for $38. I think this was such a top selling product because people just rode their damn bike so much this month and they destroyed their bottom brackets. Bottom brackets are a wear and tear part, so you're gonna need to replace them after, I don't know, 1,000 miles or plus or minus another 1,000, depending on how much mud or dust and or often you wash your bike. Anyways, I always tell people, get the same bottom bracket as the brand of your cranks, and SRAM has their newer cranks have what's called the DUB spindle, which is a certain size spindle that this particular bottom bracket is made to fit. And they pretty much, when you're talking price and value and reliability, if you have SRAM cranks, that's the bottom bracket you want to go with. We have a video about bottom bracket size if you have creaking or anything like that. Actually, we have a video on that too. So we have a video on how to service your bottom bracket, which is kind of pull it apart, maintain it, clean it, get it to stop creaking. We have another video about determining your bottom bracket size to see what bottom bracket you need if you need to replace it. So yeah, a lot of bottom bracket stuff. It is a confusing video, and it's kind of getting less confusing now because most people are using English threaded bottom brackets, but I don't know. Bike industry ruins everything with complexity and no standards. I'm giving up. If you've made it this far in the video, I would like to introduce you to a cool new WC product. It's a stealth water bottle. Our original one has a white and blue on it, and some people like stealth things. We also made stealth fenders, which is pretty cool. Maybe we should make a stealth stem cap. I don't know. Hit the subscribe button if you've made it this far and you don't have a WC water bottle, or just if you're not subscribed, that would be great. Thanks. Okay, see you next time. Bye.